I'm sorry. People like Sutton, this is, and I'm probably going to get, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because I've seen a lot of reviews and other people. It's a lot of people give Sutton a lot of leeway. They, especially with this Reba-esque thing, it's like we can give her leeway if she in her 20s. She's in her 50s. No more excuses. For me, my goal would be to make you cry. You come at me, I'm going to make you cry.
Well,
I'm going to want you to cry.
Well, you have to think about it too. And even again, the words that she uses are just so damaging. She said it to Dorit, another threat. She's like documenting these fake things that are happening and they didn't happen. What threat?
She said it in her confession. Remember, she said in confession, "You are not. I am not who you want to have problems with." Right. What is that?
That's a threat.
What is that?
Because you're warning somebody that you don't want this.
Right. And then that brings up to the point where Andy reads a fan comment that basically says Sutton always lashes out whenever someone calls out a hypocritical statement or she's operating in a way that she doesn't think that she is or what have you. And to everyone's surprise, when he asked Garcelle, how do you feel about that? And she agreed. Everybody was like, ooh. And Sutton was kind of like,
you're
Sutton's looking. She was shocked about that. Like, wow, my friend doesn't have my back. Your friend has had your back a little too much.
That's not your friend, girl. That's your associate. That's your acquaintance, girl. That's not your friend.
That's Garcelle's friend.
That's Garcelle's friend.
Yeah, that's
Garcelle's friend.
Farmer.
Exactly.
Ooh. Yeah, well, no longer.
This is where Garcelle basically lets us know that she's upset. And this is where I started to get irritated even more. Like, I haven't been able to, I didn't have a positive feeling about Garcelle's performance on this reunion until the end of the episode. And even in this further, had me in the way that we've been discussing Garcelle on this podcast. And that is, they ask you what's wrong. You're at the reunion. You have everyone in front of you. And you say, I'm not going to answer any questions. I don't want to talk about it.
You're not using the platform at all? No?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I just didn't, especially when I asked her, like, when he circled back and she brings up, she again doesn't answer. And then she's like, no one smiled at me. I was just so confused. Did she not know she was coming to a reunion? Like, nothing about this whole performance feels like to me she knew she was coming to a Housewives reunion. I was just very confused by what the expectation was or what. If I'd been on a show like Housewives for how long she's been on, 4 or 5 seasons, and maybe even if I wasn't in the center of the drama, like I would never come to a reunion just like with my guard down. Like I just was very confused by what she was expecting out of the day in total.
And then,
did she watch it?
Well, so, and then to top it off, for you to let the women of Beverly Hills fake break you down, now, girl,
Cynthia and Crystal were on Carlos King. Cynthia, because they have a podcast together, Cynthia had given her homework. I want you to watch the older seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta so you can see what my journey was, right? Crystal on the podcast when they're on there with Carlos says, there's not one girl, and maybe Erika could last a day with the Real Housewives of Atlanta girls. So when I see Garcelle on the verge of tears.
Oh, there were tears.
I'm all about Black women being able to have their full emotions and be able to run that gamut. But in my opinion,
not with that.
You don't get them that.
Not that. You gotta stop. You need to stop. That was embarrassing.
You do not give them that. That was just not. I won't say embarrassing for me. It was embarrassing. You're right. It was embarrassing. You don't make them. You don't look.
You don't make you first of all. Now
you don't give them that.
You don't get. Yeah, you can't give them that. And you gave them, and whatever you've given them before, you just gave them the whole lifeline. Now.
Oh my God!
You just gave them the entire lifeline. That honestly probably pissed me off the most out of that entire scene. And then Andy trying to circle back to it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's his job. She ain't give him shit.
yeah.
And what gags me about this, and this is so emblematic of her this season, that when she is so upset and so emotional and can't find the words, Jennifer Tilly leans over to her and says, "Are you upset because everybody's ganging up on Sutton?"
Oh my God, that pissed me off so bad.
Why? Why did it piss you off? That fair question.
No,
Really?
it's a fair question.
Very fair
You
question.
didn't give
That's
me.
what
You didn't
you
give anybody else.
season. That's what you've been given. You get that energy. How you defended Sutton. Where's that energy in this reunion? Of course, you can't be mad for yourself because you don't defend yourself.
You don't defend yourself.
That is so emblematic of her experience on this
Yeah.
show. It's like,
Yeah.
wow. In any Jared, I agree with you. In any other scenario, I would say, wow, white lady, you really think everything's about this black girl's crying about this white woman?
She's crying.
She can't have personal feelings about herself. But Garcelle put herself there.
She really did. When she didn't answer any questions.
In St. Lucia.
Right.
Like, girl, oof.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. No, I didn't like that part. If we had to end the episode now, the one that needs to calm down are the tears.
She didn't. They didn't drop. The voice cracked.
Yes, they did.
Oh, the tears.
The tissue was wet, darling. She did the crevice right here when you got the full face on. Oh yeah, no, there were tears, sweets. There were tears.
So then we move on to, I only have one note for this. We move on to the Woman in Heat segment. The only thing that I found really interesting about that segment was that we found out that Dorit is actually thinking about dating. I love, maybe it's only because in comparison to what Kyle has given us, I love that how open Dorit is. Like, yeah, I've been thinking about it, but I ain't did it yet. Like, I appreciated that. And then we move on to Erika's segment.
Wait, something in there pissed me off.
Oh, okay. Where?
I think this was
or
no, in Heat segment. I guess I was in that segment because I didn't put my notes what belonged to which segment in my 6 notes. But when Andy started talking about Garcelle's roster, but labeled it as her body count, I didn't like that because she's talked about people she's been involved with, but I mean, this lady has never said that she fucked all these men. And I feel like that was I don't know who wrote that or where that came from or if he phrased it like that, but I really didn't like him phrasing it like that. Like, she just out here fucking down. I mean, she is, that's her business, but she hasn't said that.
I think that's a great point.
That is a fair point. No, I do appreciate that because that was kind of almost slut shaming. That was because when you say roster, you think of, okay, a little list.
Took me on a couple of dates. Yeah,
took me on a couple body dates. Count, honey.
This man said body count.
Body count is crazy because body count. You immediately think is either very low or very high, and we talked about number. Like we said multiple names. They said multiple names with her.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's I agree with that. That was a great point. I didn't like that either.
That was nasty.
I think initially I didn't like it, but then when she said, "No, I didn't sleep with Sean Penn," it was like, "Oh, okay." She didn't take offense to it, so then it immediately like switched off for me. But I agree with you.
But you know why though too? I think you know why that could have been is because she's talked about these men so much, which is why he felt comfortable with bringing it up like that. And again, maybe the verbiage shouldn't have been there as body count. He should have kept roster instead of body count. But because she's actually talked about all of these men. And to your point, Aaron, her saying I didn't sleep with Sean Penn is confirming she slept with all the other men and not Sean Penn.
Right.
So she actually shouldn't have said anything at all because now we know you actually did sleep and you did sleep with those men. Because if that was the case, you'd have been like, oh, I didn't sleep with all of them. She said one specific man and he was a couple names.
And to Jared's point, body count has never been used. It has always been roster. Every single time, even when Erika was on Watch What Happens Live, roster has always been used.
Yeah.
Never body count.
Yeah.
Great call out, Jared.
Yeah. That must have been a Gen Zer that wrote that one.
Hello. So then we move on to the Erika segment. Honestly, more Tom, no one cares. We find out that we wow, my notes literally just says Erika segment. We was like the son was a witness at the ASAP Rocky. Anything else y'all care about Erika's thing? Anything stand out to y'all about Erika?
The only thing that I will say is when she was saying she'd visit Tom, like she didn't know anything about him essentially right now. But I thought that was weird that she said that she would visit him at his death. For what, girl? He's dead.
Like at his funeral, I guess. Like the funeral or, you know, his grave. People do that.
You never heard of mourning, Danielle? You never mourned? No?
No, she doesn't mourn.
Oh, because once you gone, baby.
Mm.
Can't cry over spilled milk. What I'm going to keep doing? And I'm definitely not crying over somebody that I haven't seen who's been in jail. So that's crazy. She ain't even visiting him trying to fight for him to go to the hospital. That man is sitting in jail right now.
Oh my goodness. And so then we move on to Miss Sutton and her segment with Miss Reba. And we find out that Sutton has not spoken to Reba about all these episodes. And that's not shocking to me at all.
Me neither.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't like how Andy delivered this entire baggage.
In what way?
Just in the Reba terms. Because Garcelle is the one that had to bring it out. Like, I know there was a lot of speculation and there were a lot of opinions about the interaction with Reba. And Andy only asked, like, you know, what did you think about Reba when she said, oh my God, you should mind your business? No, I needed you to go deep. Ask the questions that they were talking about on Twitter. Why you didn't read none of those? And then again, Erika then swooped in on that conversation where Andy had it was a missed opportunity. Erika then jumped in and was like, yeah, I actually just saw my grandmother. And she broke it down. But I felt like there was a couple missed opportunities for Andy to call out some points, but he really tried to soften up for Sutton.
No, he tried to soften it up for Bravo. Bravo don't want to push that issue.
Thank you. Because I think that was like some real, let me tell you, I think that was some real bull. Another, what Brooke Ashley says on her channel, another whacking for Garcelle. I'm sorry. You coming out your mouth and saying that Reba was sweet and kind and an interesting person. I understand why Kyle said that. That was her experience with her. But with
that
you,
was your experience, girl.
keep your mouth, like what?